So the basis and the foundation of faith, what inspires faith, is actually the words of Christ, the word of God. This is the object of faith, and this is what inspires it. Faith is trusting fully and completely in the word, that the word is able to accomplish what it promises. Simple enough? We can see that in that story very clearly. Sometimes we complicate faith. Today, too often as Christians, we complicate things by definitions. For example, if I was to ask you what is faith, many of you probably would answer with a particular verse. It says faith is thus and so. That's why we wanted to look at it practically. Faith is not about knowing the definition of how we explain it. Faith, brothers and sisters, is a living reality, is a trusting, confident assurance, a connection with God because of true confidence in His word and what it promises. Just like the centurion had reason to have faith, right? He had heard about Jesus. He had heard about His miracles. He had heard about some of the stories that were going around and circulating. It gave him enough hope to actually act and go and seek Jesus and make this request on the behalf of his servant. That was all an exhibition of faith. He wanted what that word promised, and he wanted to claim it personally. These are all practical elements for us to learn from. So it moved him to go to Jesus and make this request. And when Jesus offered to come visit him, he said, no need. I know what it's like. All you have to do is speak the word. So here's a question for you and me today. How is your faith? Faith is a simple thing. Faith is trusting and believing what God promised, taking His word for what it says and trusting it. Let's not complicate it. Let's not make it into this theological, big, complex thing and try and define it and make sure we have it thus and so. It's simply taking God at His word. And without faith, it is impossible to please God.